What is it? From premise to published, week 17. Pretty sure that's the right week. Oh, hang on. No, that has to be right. After last week's epic ramble, I am going to make this one short and sweet. I just want to talk about what the next month looks like for the channel, for my writing, for my working. There's a lot going on, okay?
No fluff writing advice. Cut the fluff!
All right, firstly, I didn't get as much writing done last week as I planned. I did have a lot going on, so my current word count, let's get it over and done with at the start, is 26,905. I don't think what's that gone up like 100, 200 words, something like that. But last week I was busy building a website, rebuilding, redesigning my freelancing business, which was once upon a time was a freelance writing business, but will now be a freelance writing and editing and other things business. So at the moment, I'm working with a local artist to design my new business logo. Once that's done, she's also going to be redesigning the cover for my novel Demonology and the Art of Pickling Demons. When I published that, it was pretty much a no budget, zero budget publishing project. The only thing I forked out money for was the website initially and the ISBN. And if anyone watched last week's video, you'll know that those two things, that ISBN, setting up that publishing company, and that website, have pretty much led me to where I am right now. So when I published that book, I didn't plan to market it. It was more like, once you start writing or people know that you write, you get asked the question a lot, like, what have you written that I can read? Where can I read it? And just to answer that question, I wrote that book, I published it, I made an AI generated cover because I can't draw or paint or design any of that. And I threw it up on Amazon. Then I guess I got the bright idea to send it into the Indie Fantasy Club, and it got a positive review, and then won the Emerald Award in the Hidden Gem Awards last year. And suddenly people are reading it. And I always said, like, if the book ever gets traction or a lot of interest, I will do a physical copy, and that would involve redesigning the cover. So that's where I'm at now. Yeah, so now that the book's got a bit of traction, it seems like the right time to actually pay an artist to design the cover and come up with something better. I mean, it's been an okay placeholder, but yeah, we can do better than that. So I spent last week building a website. That was a tedious task, ran into problem after problem, but it's all sorted now. I'm not a web designer or a website builder, so I was winging it a little bit. So in a couple of weeks at the start of March, when my final pay runs dry, I'm going to start doing a few content writing gigs. Nothing too over the top. Nothing. I'm not going to take on a big workload. Just a little something to pay the bills. So I'll probably take at least the first 2 weeks of March to settle into that work, find my groove, and then I just don't want my attention to be split in too many places at once at the start. And then I can start focusing on my editing services. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to deliver some of those services, because I was with my previous publisher where I worked for 4 years. I'm kind of behind that wall, so I don't know exactly what has been happening outside of that wall. Like, hear things now and then, but I haven't been in the publishing or the editing trenches, so to speak. Yeah, so when I was with the publisher, a lot of these authors would buy these like big publishing packages, and you'd work with them for sometimes 6 months, 9 months, sometimes 12 months, developing these books, editing, getting content. And I know to keep costs down for indie authors, I can't offer that sort of like really comprehensive service. It doesn't fit what people are after. But I want to figure out a way to deliver something as close to that as possible, but for a more reasonable price. I don't want to, and I know some people will just want this. They just, here's my thing, edit it, cool, send me on my way. But I know a lot of people, especially the people I've worked with in the past, they want that more collaborative experience where you're sort of working together and you've got time to explain the edits. And you want an author to understand every edit you've made to their story. So when authors understand why edits have been made or suggestions have been made, one, it helps build trust in your edits. And two, it helps them improve their own writing and editing skills, because they're like, okay, that makes sense. I won't make that mistake again in the future. And then with their next book or the next thing they write, they're going to be a little bit better because they've seen what needs to be improved or what has been improved in the edit. But if you don't take time to explain why you've made these edits and they have to sort of decipher it all, it's not always ideal. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out the best way to deliver that collaborative experience to the people who want it. And it might even be something I need to test. Like, I'm thinking of running some sort of, I don't know, competition where I'll do a developmental edit at a like really reduced price with someone who wants to sort of, I guess, beta test the process, give feedback, help me improve it before I roll it out to a whole bunch more people. So that's not an official announcement for that. It's just something I'm thinking about doing, but it would have to be the right person. It would have to be the right manuscript. It would have to be at that state where it's ready for a developmental edit. There are a lot of factors that would, yeah, it wouldn't just be like a roll of the dice. Here's the winner. You get the discount edit. It would have to be, yeah, handpicked to a certain extent. Anyway, just thinking out loud. As far as the channel goes, I'm actually starting to get through some of these indie submissions. I'm currently reading The Scion Conspiracy by Mike Cahoon. I'm over halfway through that. I think that'll probably be the next review I post. I should get through that next week. I'm recording this on a Sunday. And I'm also reading Seekers of the Light by Brian Cole. So that could be the next one after that. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. I promised I wouldn't ramble, so bye. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy this video, hit subscribe anyway and hate watch my content. That's always fun.